Hello and welcome to Live by Design, a program where I hope you will find content that is informative, insightful, and inspiring. I am your host, Muadi. I'm a life strategist and a motivational speaker, and today is Tuesday, October 23rd, 2012. So how's it going? I hope you had a great weekend. I did. And that your week is off to a great start. Mine certainly is, because look what I found in the mailbox. Can you see it? A very thoughtful person mailed to me a blank, new, spanking, brand new journal, just out of the goodness and kindness of her heart. I guess an appreciation for some things that we did together. And anyone who knows me knows that I am a big journaler. My journals have been my saving grace and have been places where I have just really found and discovered some really interesting things about myself. I've written about my transformation, my pain, my suffering, everything. Writing is a very cathartic experience for me. So to get such a thoughtful gift from someone so unexpected, it just really just filled me up and made my day. So I'm very, very grateful and thankful about that. Today we are going to be discussing this whole idea about acceptance. Accepting other people for who they are and what they have to offer. I often hear people say, I like to meet people where they are and I accept everybody. And that seems to be true as long as wherever they are is headed in the direction that you think they should be headed in, right? But it's hard to accept people sometimes when we feel that perhaps their values, their core values, their lifestyle is not in sync with or aligned with what it is that we want for them and what we think is best for them. And that lack of acceptance of people for who they are and where they really are and what they're really striving for is a great deal of suffering and heartache. And Michael Beckwith, you've heard me say it on this program before, Michael Beckwith has said that pain is inevitable. It's part of the human experience. But prolonged suffering is a choice. I personally try to avoid prolonged suffering at all costs. And one of the ways that we inflict suffering on ourselves and by extension on other people is when we walk with this lack of acceptance toward others. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. But of course, we have to start off with a few announcements. I am excited to announce that I will be broadcasting this program live on Tuesday, January 1st, 2013 at 11 o'clock a.m. on my Ustream channel. I premiered Live by Design on Ustream a year ago, and my intention was to provide you with regular programming and some information that would sort of help you live a better life in 2012. We are going to be back. I'm going to be back on my anniversary of my show anyway, and we're going to be talking about things that you can do to lay a really solid foundation to have a really strong 2013. We're going to talk about goal setting. We're going to talk about dropping old baggage. I hope to have a special guest to sort of come on and be my guinea pig for the day and talk about visioning and strategizing and different things that you can do to bring more satisfaction, more joy, more abundance, more peace, more love, more of everything that you want and less of what you don't want in 2013. So that's going to be again on Tuesday, January 1st, 2013. We're going to start at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you follow me on Facebook or Twitter or any of the other social media outlets, I will be sending out announcements about that regularly so you won't miss it. Now, if you hang out on New Year's Eve and get smashed or do some of this other crazy business that people do where you can't get up and be ready to go and greet your new year by 11 a.m. on the 1st, that's on you. That is not my concern. I'm going to be here live, on Ustream live, and I hope that you will be up and ready to join me on that day as well. Also, on January 12th in Boston, I will be hosting my second Women's Worth retreat. It's a half-day retreat from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can find information about it on my website. If you've been before, come back. We're going to do some really exciting things. If you've never been, ask your friends who have come to let you know a little bit about what we do. We get down in those retreats. We are open, we're honest, we tell the truth, we tell the radical truth, we support each other, and we help set realistic goals and a real step-by-step plan on how you can go about just creating the life that you want. It's in your power. It's in all of our powers. It's our birthright. We're destined to it. We deserve it, but we have to do the work for it, right? The universe is not going to hook us up. We have to meet it halfway by doing the work. So if you're interested in doing the work, come out on January 12th in Boston. Let's get this thing going. I know that it's really important to invest in yourself, to invest the time to train and take courses and do things to improve your life. I know that in November, will be going to a week-long workshop in New York, hosted by Dr. Robert Holden, who's a spiritual teacher that I admire a lot, who I discovered on Hay House Radio. And so, if you're going to spend your money, if you're going to spend your time on things, why not spend your money and time on things that are going to improve you? Invest in yourself. So if you don't come to my workshop, I'm not going to take it personally, but find something. Okay? Read a book. Go see a film that stirs your mind. Engage with other people, other like-minded people who are engaged in conversation that's uplifting and refreshing. Don't end 2013 the way you ended 2012. Even if this was your best year yet, the next year that's coming can be even better. So take the time to invest in yourself. So again, my workshop is January 12th, 2013. And if you can't join me, find some workshop that will support you in your efforts to live your best life. I know that's not an original phrase, but I'm still going to use it because I think it's important. Finally, just as a reminder, I created a strategic partnership with Bikram Yoga District Arts, a new Bikram Yoga studio that will be opening in Hyattsville, Maryland in early next year, owned and operated by the one and only Kendra Blackett Debinga. I can't even tell you how excited I am about the opening of this studio. Kendra, I've known her for 17, 18 years, and she not only does she have good business savvy, but she is someone who's really committed to fitness and health and wellness. And we've done a lot of work together. We discovered Bikram Yoga together. Of course, she took it and ran with it. And this is not going to be just a regular old yoga studio. It's going to be sort of your the one-stop shopping place for health and wellness information. It's going to be the new hot spot. It's going to be the new hotness. Is that a pun because it's Bikram Yoga? Maybe it is. But in any event, I'm excited. I'm so excited because it's going to be wonderful. I'm looking forward to it. So again, if you live in the DMV, that's the District of Columbia, Maryland, or Virginia, come on out. Join us. I am offering some special rates for some private one-on-one coaching for anyone who does sign up for a membership with Bikram Yoga Arts District. So again, Facebook, Twitter are good places to follow and hear about what's happening with the studio and everything else that I am involved in. So, one more announcement. My new CD, Mind Your Business, How to Create the Relationship That You Want, will be available beginning on November 1st. I launched a new workshop. I gave a talk called Mind Your Business that was pretty well received, and basically the content is really consistent with what we talk about here on this program. It's really about things that you can do, things that you can control, things that you can shift in your own life that can bring about real transformation in all of your relationships, whether they're personal relationships or professional relationships. There's some techniques and tools that I've used to sort of evolve past my crazy drama queen behavior and really got to the place where I'm enjoying being around people. I'm enjoying my relationships. I'm enjoying my family, my friends. And so it's my goal, it's my intention to share some of those tips with you as well. So Mind Your Business, again, available November 1st. Find me on the social media outlets, and I can send you information as to how you can get your copy. Okay? So that's all for my announcements. Okay? We're going to take a little break, and when we come back, we are going to start talking about what it means to really be an accepting spirit. So we'll take a break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes. See you soon. Back to Live by Design. I'm your host, Muadi Debinga, and today we are talking about what it means to really, truly be accepting of other people. Now, in my experience, from my observation, from my working with my clients, from reading that I've done on my own, I've come to know that there are at least 3 things that we all have in common, regardless of our economic status, our cultural background, where we are in life. Human beings, no matter where we are, we have 3 basic desires that we bring into any relationship. We want to be seen. We want people to really see us beyond the labels, beyond the stereotypes, beyond their presumptions of what they might think to know about us based on their interactions with people who might have looked like us or sounded like us. We want to be seen for who we are. We want to be heard, particularly by those that we love. We want people to engage with us and listen to us with the volume on their ears turned up so high that they not only hear our words, but they can also hear and feel our intention and feeling and emotions behind those words. And the third thing is that we want to be accepted. Once we're seen for who we are, once the truth of our words, once what's really on our heart is heard and we're honest and open, we want people, particularly those that we care about, to accept us. Unfortunately, many of us have gotten to this space where we don't really have the capacity, or at least we have not exercised our capacity to truly accept people for who they are and where they are. Instead, we have a tendency, some of us, this may not be you, but it certainly was the case for me, to always look beyond who the person is right now and look at their potential. You can grow into something. So this person may not have accelerated to the extent that he or she may have liked in their career, but you're going to get there. And we continuously tell them how we believe in them and what they can be in the future and what they will have in the future and what they have the capacity to do once they get themselves together or once, this particular circumstance comes to pass. And while it's fine to have, to encourage people to pursue their dreams, and while it's wonderful to be someone who's optimistic and can see the best in what somebody may become, it's even more important, if not more so, for us to be able to communicate that we accept those who love us, we accept those who we hold dearest to us for who they are right now. For who you are right now. Sometimes when I'm in my workshop, some people have heard this, I talk about my used car theory, and that when you're choosing a mate, you should choose your mate like you would a used car. If he or she does not depreciate once you get off the lot, will you take them or take them? If not, leave them on the lot. If you can't accept every little ding, nook, and cranny that you see right now, leave them on the lot. We don't take a Yugo and take it home, right, and try to make it into a Mercedes-Benz. Your Yugo might be somebody else's Mercedes. Leave them on the lot, rather than what most of us do is take them and try to change them, right? We take a hoopty off the parking lot or off the sales lot, take them home, try to put some rims on them, and shine them up, give them a new engine, and try to clean them up and bring them up to a standard. We try to change them, usually to our own dissatisfaction and sadness. Here's a case in point. I want to use a really solid example so we can understand what we're talking about when we mean accepting people for where they are and not where you want them to be. My niece, Deji, 4 years old, right now, if I were to go up to her and ask her to make me something to eat, Deji would make me a cheese sandwich. Some of you have heard this story, right? 2 pieces of bread, 1 piece of cheese, put them together, that's it. That's what she has to offer. She'll put it on maybe her Tiana plate or her starfish plate. You might get a side of orange juice with it, but you're getting a cheese sandwich. You're not going to get vegetable lasagna. You're not going to get couscous. You're not going to get anything more fancy, anything more intricate or complicated than a cheese sandwich. So I know that if I want something to eat, if I'm not really particular, or if I'm craving a cheese sandwich, I will go to Ndeji and I'll get the best cheese sandwich around, right? But I know that if I want vegetable lasagna or anything more complicated, I need to go somewhere else. Because right now, at the age of 4, having never cooked anything else, having never prepared anything else, without the experience of having done anything else, Deji has the capacity to make a cheese sandwich, and that is it. She has demonstrated her capacity to make a cheese sandwich, and that is it. So if I go to her and try to engage her as a cook, and she brings me something at her cheese sandwich, then I should be grateful and accept the cheese sandwich, as opposed to, rather than berating her. Deji, all you have is a cheese sandwich? I'm really hungry. This isn't enough. Go in there and fix me something else. Now, knowing her her desire to please me, her desire to never walk away from a challenge, days you probably try to go in there and cook something else and probably tear up that kitchen in the meantime, right? But whatever she brings back is not going to be as masterful as her cheese sandwich because she does not have the capacity right now. She's shown me that to do anything differently. So how cruel would it be of me to not only demand something of her that she is not prepared to do, demand something of her that she has shown me already that she does not have the capacity to do, and then to berate her for not doing it right. That is what we do. Let's get out of the cheese sandwich. Let's get out of the kitchen for a second. That's what we do, though, in real life when we find a partner that we want to love us and we want them to be, really affectionate, and they're not really affectionate. And instead of accepting the fact that, okay, he or she does not express his affection this way, maybe she does it that way, we try to make them do what we think that they should do to demonstrate their love for us. And they may try, because you can inspire people to do better. You can inspire people to do something differently. But that real desire for transformation has to come from within. And if they have decided that this is how they're going to walk through life, that this is going to be the way they express their feelings, for example, how dare you, how dare me, how dare anybody come and try to change them into being something else, right? But that is what we do. We do it at work. If we have a boss who doesn't have a backbone, or a coworker who is very nervous Nelly and is nervous all the time, rather than looking at them, seeing them, hearing them, accepting them from who they are, and then acting accordingly, we try to change. We try to manipulate. We try to cajole, and we don't accept. And when we don't accept other people, a couple of things happen. Number one, resentment builds. If you're engaged with someone, you have an interaction with someone, and you are constantly pointing out to that person the various ways in which he or she is not living up to your expectations. Maybe they didn't get the job that you wanted them to get. They didn't lose the weight that you wanted them to lose. They didn't, again, start to show affection, or maybe they're depressing you, or whatever. Whatever it is, if you engage with someone and you're constantly communicating to that person that what you're doing right now is good enough, I know you could do better, but right now it's not working, it builds resentment. It builds resentment. They start to resent you because whether you know it or not, whether you believe it or not, folks know when you're not accepting of them. Folks know when they feel that they're not good enough. And for a while, they might try to appease you. And for a while, they might try to actually go with the flow and go with the program and get in line because they love you. They don't want you to lead them, or whatever the reason may be. But eventually, the truth will always out. And so even though they stay with you, whether as your friend, as your coworker, as your spouse, as your significant other, there will be this layer, there will be this divide, there will be this barrier that you're not going to get across because they know, based on your constant, dare I say it, nagging or cajoling or encouraging, they know that who they are right now is not good enough for you, so they're going to resent you. Okay? The next thing that it does, it erodes their self-esteem. When you're constantly telling someone that they're not good enough. And there are ways that we do that. You can either say, oh, this isn't good, or you can say, you can do better. Either way, the message that they receive, particularly if there's somebody who is sensitive or knows that this is an area that they're struggling in, they receive the message that I'm not good enough. And it starts to whittle away at their self-esteem. It also can whittle away at your own self-worth, at your self-worth. Example, if I am engaged with someone and I'm constantly asking them to do something or change their behavior or engage in behavior and they don't, I may, like many of us do, I may begin to take it personally. So for example, I have a very good friend. We've been friends, you've heard me talk about it before. Oh, we're on our 10th year of being really, really close friends. This brother's late for everything. Everything. And at the beginning of our friendship, it used to drive me bonkers. And I used to nag and complain and give suggestions. Why don't you save some time, manage your time better, etc., etc. And I started to take it personally. He's being late because of me. He does not value my time, etc., etc., and so forth. And so then I started to feel this person doesn't value me. This person doesn't respect me, etc., right? And you go down that road. If you continue down that road, and you stay in that space, then your self-esteem starts to dissipate. It starts to get affected as well. All right, so we know so far when we don't accept people, the potential consequences are resentment builds. We can erode their self-esteem. It can erode our self-esteem, and finally, you can get left. Is that good grammar? I don't know. They can leave you Because nobody with their right mind, nobody with a really strong sense of self is constantly going to be in a space where he is criticized, where she is criticized, where she is demeaned, or she's undermined. Right? So when we talk about accepting people, when we don't accept people, those are the consequences. Let's take a little bit of break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk about why it is that we do some of the things that we do. Why is it that it is so difficult for us to really, really, truly accept other people for who they are right now? Okay, so we're going to take a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about why it is so hard for us to accept folks. Be right back. Back to Live by Design. I'm your host, Muadi, and today we are talking about acceptance and why it is important for us to really create spaces in all of our relationships, but especially our personal relationships, where people who are close to us know that they are seen, that they are heard, and they are accepted. Before the break, we talked a little bit about the impact that being judgmental or being a nag can have on those we love and on our relationships with those we love. We talked about how they can build resentment on both sides, how being judgmental can erode the self-esteem of our loved ones because we're constantly telling them through our actions, through our thoughts, through our deeds that we don't think that they're good enough. And it can also bring up or build a wall between us and those that we love, so that really prevents us from having, again, that soul-to-soul connection that I think a lot of us really, really yearn for. Now, and there are a lot of reasons why we do this judgmental thing. I know that I used to be, and this is still kind of a judgmental person, really used to spend a lot of time trying to get people who were close to me to be something, to be better, to do differently. And, you know, part of it for me, this may be true for you as well, was from fear. I did not want people close to me to suffer. And for some reason, I felt that if I believed that the particular course that they were on, or the particular path that they were on, was going to bring them suffering, I felt like it was my responsibility to intervene and course correct so that they could have a good life. What I didn't know when I was at the height of my judgmental phase was something that I've now known for a while, but my good friend Rita Spinola really articulated for me a few months back. What I didn't know, what she helped me sort of shape, was that the universe got them too. The universe has their back too. The same universal consciousness, intelligence that I think holds me and protects me and takes care of me and guides me has them too, has my friends, has my loved ones, has everyone in their protection as well. They're protected as well. They're guided as well. They have a path as well. They also have a plan. They have a purpose. Every human being that has come into existence has their own path that they're to walk. And so how arrogant is it of me to presume that I know better than that universal consciousness, that I know better, that I know best. And how arrogant is it of me to think that because I'm afraid that I therefore have the right to judge someone else, that I have the right to try to tell them, no, you should go this way, you should go that way. And of course with children, it's our responsibility to teach them things, to manage their money, to clean their rooms and that type of thing. But when we're engaging with adults, we have to put down that sort of active teacher hat and go into active student mode and really just learn from them rather than trying to change them, rather than trying to always be that person that knows best and is judging. And so again, we oftentimes allow ourselves to judge other people, or we're motivated, I should say, to judge other people rather than accept them because we're afraid. We're afraid, again, of what may be in store for them, but sometimes we're afraid of what might be in store for us. Because if I look at someone and really accept them for who they are, and who they are is not aligned principally with who I am at my core, or what it is that I say that I want, or who it is that I believe myself to be, I might have to make a decision, and I'm afraid. Right? So I might get with somebody, maybe you're a significant other, and maybe he or she is chronically unemployed, and they're not looking for work. Every time you come back, they're on the couch playing Xbox or, watching, Real Housewives of Atlanta or something. And you're the one who's constantly sending out that person's resume. You're the one who's obviously always, trying to find them job leads. They may not want to get a job right now. They may be cool. They may be depressed. Who knows? But realize that dude is not going to be working, or sister girl over here does not want a job, you have to then make a decision. So rather than saying, okay, I see what is, and now I must act accordingly, you try to fix them. You try to course correct them so that you don't have to face your real fear of making a decision and sticking to it. If you find yourself connected with someone who's a Debbie Downer, who's just depressed and just negative all the time, you might try to get them to be perky and happy and see things your way. Not so much because you want them to be happy and see things your way and be perky, but because if you recognize and stop and realize, oh my goodness, I've connected with myself, or I'm now attached to someone who really doesn't see the world the way I see it, who has a really radically different worldview than I do, now I might have to make a decision. So what do? Seeing people, hearing people, loving people, accepting people as they are is the biggest gift that you can give anyone. And what that means is that you, in order for you to achieve that, you have to recognize that, as my friend Rita says, the universe has their back too. The universe will take care of them. They are, once they reach adulthood, it is their responsibility to walk their path in any way that it unfolds. And sometimes it's your responsibility to sort of sit back, see the truth of who they are, see how they have decided to be in this world, and then you make a decision whether or not you're going to stay with them in grace without complaining and cajoling and, nagging, or if you're going to have to lovingly detach yourself from that situation, from that relationship, from that job, from that person. It is not our responsibility to change people. First of all, because we can't do it. We've talked about this before. We can't drag anybody down the road of transformation. And sometimes their way might be the better way. We don't know that for sure because it's not our business. What your business is, what your responsibility is to look at someone, see them, hear them, understand them, and accept them. Don't try to change them. And you make a decision whether or not you can stay with love and grace, or if you have to leave, again with love and grace. But when we create a space for the people that we love to know that we see them, that we hear them, or that we accept them, and that yes, we'll try to support them if they need our help, from time to time, but that we're not constantly trying to change them and constantly trying to fix them, that creates the fertile ground in which a real soul-to-soul, loving, peaceful, abundant relationship can grow. That's where it comes. So we have to commit to making sure that those in our inner circle, those who we love, those who we purport to love, understand, see, know, feel that we accept them as is. As is. And when you do that, you'll be surprised how you can actually inspire someone by your own actions. Not by trying to fix them, but by your own actions to take a different course if you think it's something that they might be interested in. By minding your own business, sowing your own seeds, watering your own grass, and accept everybody as they are, or leave them alone. But when we accept, when we see, hear, and accept, we create a space for love. We create a space for an energy that can not only sustain you, but can propel you to heights that you didn't even think were possible. That's my wish for you. That's my wish for everyone that you love. It's my wish for myself and everyone that I love. So this week, let's focus on accepting the people who we love as is, with love, with grace, or make a decision to do something else on your own. Yes? All right. I want to thank you for joining me today. It's been my absolute pleasure to be with you. I look forward to being with you soon. Until next time, have a great day. Have a great week. Make an effort to be a compassionate and loving presence wherever you go. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.